What if I told you that getting business funding for your business, new or old, is a lot easier than you think, and you can do it in 30 days? It's not a get-rich scheme, you don't need any revenue for your existing business, and you don't even need to have a social media presence or know anything about marketing. My name is Pablo Azevedo, and I help people fix their credit and get business funding. I've helped my clients secure over $500,000 in the last few months. I struggled to get business funding when I was scaling my Amazon reselling business years ago, and getting access to high limit 0% cards allowed me to go from $30,000 to $80,000 in sales per month in just 2 months. In this video, I'll go over the 3-step process that will get you funds to scale your business or buy an existing cash flowing business. It starts with the right credit profile and how to apply for funding, and then using the money correctly. Step 1. Optimizing your credit profile. You want to pull your full credit reports from all 3 bureaus. They are Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, and you can use myfreescorenow.com using the link below for just $1. Don't use Credit Karma or CreditWise. They use the Vantage score system, and the banks go with FICO-based systems. They also don't show all 3 reports. You need to now check for any negatives. If you have any late payments within the last 2 years, whether it's a 30-day or 60-day, you need to try to remove them. You can try goodwill letters and send these letters and with an explanation saying that you missed a payment, it was by accident, and you have great history with them, so they can maybe take it off from all 3 bureaus. If you do have more than 3 late payments, it becomes much tougher to remove those late payments. If there's any charge-offs, collection repos, anything of that nature, bankruptcy, you need to have them all removed. You can use the FCRA to do that. The FCRA is the Federal Credit Reporting Act, and it is your guide to remove the negatives. You have the right to 100% accurate data to your credit reports. If there's any inconsistencies, anything that's wrong, anything that doesn't match, it could be even your name or address, then you can technically get these negatives removed. You need to remove all inquiries that are not tied to an existing account. So if you applied somewhere recently but didn't have an open account, but they actually got a hard inquiry on your credit report, you can remove it, and you need to remove it. Ideally, you want 0 inquiries in the last 2 years, and definitely less than 2 overall per bureau. Our credit specialists can help you remove these negatives. You can use the link in the description to book a free one-on-one call with my team. You want an average credit age of 3 years. If you don't have it, you can ask a trusted family member with a long-standing card. 5 years plus is better with a low balance, and have them add you as an authorized user. This will add age to report. The other thing to be aware of with this type of authorized user is you don't want them maxing out that card, because it will show on your credit report and it will impact the ability to get funding. You want to have an LLC in your state, ideally, or you could buy a shelf corp LLC foreign filing for that business. An age LLC is ideal for a shelf corp. You're looking for 3 years plus, and you don't want any problems tied with that LLC. We can assist with that as well. Now, for your business, you do need an LLC. It's the simplest way to set it up. Any type of negative names associated with the LLC needs to be avoided. And when I say negative, it's not because inherently it's bad in the eyes of the lenders. So names that like Joe's Real Estate Investing, Joe's Trucking, don't use names like that. Those are negative names associated with bad businesses or high-risk businesses. You want to be able to use low-risk business names, things like consulting, holdings, management. And you want to avoid opening the bank accounts with an NAICS code that are high risk as well, like trucking. You want to use a code like 54161, which is primarily involved with consulting. You want to avoid virtual addresses, PO boxes, and avoid weird emails. You don't want, princesscarol@gmail.com. Use something more professional. Use your first and last name, Carol Jane @gmail.com or something like that. And you can use your home address, and if you have a business address because you have a store or a warehouse, that's okay too. You want to have an open business checking account with your business name, address, EIN number, everything that when you're applying for needs to match this account. It needs to match what you have registered with the state. It's very important, and you want to be able to open these accounts with a low risk NAICS code. If you've been struggling with bad credit, lack of funding, and you need help, my team can take care of it for you. And there is a link in the description where you can apply for credit repair and business funding. My team will review your situation and see if we may be able to help you with credit repair, business funding, or both. Now you have a great credit profile, low utilization, you have no negatives, and your LLC is ready to go. Now it's time for step 2. Applying for business funding. It's really all about the right strategy. Having too many inquiries on one credit bureau alone will kill your chances of approvals. Anything more than 3 is starting to be considered risky for the lenders. You want to be able to use the right sequence. And what I mean is you want to be hitting each bureau one at a time with the national banks first. So you can apply with Chase, they typically pull from Experian, and then US Bank, they pull on TransUnion. So you want to stagger it that way. Then you can hit another national bank that will go to the third bureau, like Equifax. A lot of regional banks pull from Equifax too. You can find more information about this, which bureaus the banks pull from myfico.com and other credit reporting websites. These banks can pull from different bureaus depending on the state you live in. So Chase can pull from TransUnion sometimes, or sometimes from Experian. So your job is to find out which bureaus the banks are pulling from when applying. Then the next step after national banks is to go to regional banks to maximize the amount of approvals and limits. These banks are less sensitive to inquiries. So if you already have a relationship with the bank because you bank there, then this bank should be high on your list to hit up right after the national banks. Make sure they have a business credit card option, ideally with 0% APR for 12 months or more. You want to execute 2 to 3 applications at each bureau within 7 days for a total of 9 applications. The goal, by alternating the bureaus, is to have the lenders see less inquiries and increase your chances of getting higher approvals and more approvals. If you can stack 4 approvals at an average of $25,000 each, you'll have $100,000 in funding in 0% interest. Step 3, this is the step where you have more options. You can use the funding to scale your existing business, to buy more inventory, spend on ads, buy equipment, or take money out as cash, typically for another small fee, or perhaps buy a business using a SBA 7A loan. For an inventory business, you want to know your ROI, your return on investment. If you know your ROI, say it's 30%, if you invest $10,000 in inventory, you will earn $3,000 in profits. That's your ROI. If you want to buy more equipment, you should know how much time you will be saving, or employees you may need less of, or maybe it's adding a new service to your business. There is profit here, but calculating it will be highly individualized. You can also invest in marketing, and you should know your ROAS, which is your return on ad spend. If you have a ROAS of 25, that means for every dollar used in ads, you will get $25 back. You should know your ROAS for PPC on Amazon, or Meta, or Google Ads. Or maybe it's your ROAS for scheduling consults for your business and things like that. You can also buy an existing cash flowing business. Hear me out. Say you want to buy a business that makes $200,000 in profit a year. It will probably be sold for about $800,000. So you can get an SPO that will finance 80% of that. That means you'll need $160,000 or 20% as the down payment. You can use the business funding you just got, say $100,000, maybe even $125,000, and then you can ask the seller to finance the other 80%, which is called seller financing. Now you just bought a business with $0 down, using other people's money to generate you income. This is a quick way to make more money without starting from zero. You can eventually pay back the funds you borrowed with the profits from the business, either the business you bought or your existing business. And now that you have the business with great financials and reports like a P&L, cash flow sheets, a balance sheet, you have monthly statements from the bank, you can use these documents, this cash flow, the proof, to get even more money to reinvest or buy another business and repeat. So this is the entire process. And if you need guidance on how to do all of it, you can click on the link in the description to schedule a call with our credit advisors. I've done this exact process for personally and for my business, getting multiple 6 figures in limits, both personal and business. And we have helped many other business owners secure 6-figure in limits in total.